going to sit here? Oscar, do you want to please sit? Oh, you can move. Okay, ready? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started this morning. Good morning. Thank you to members of the press for being here today as we uplift the story of our client, Sofia Villa. I'd also like to acknowledge our additional speakers, Sofia's mother, Deysi Vargas, and another one of her attorneys, Rebecca Brown, as well as our colleagues who are here with us from Morrison and Forrester. My name is Gina Amato, and I'm the directing attorney of the Immigrants' Rights Project here at Public Counsel. Public Counsel is a nonprofit law firm, and our mission is to fight for civil rights, economic, and racial justice. Our client, Sofia Villa, is a 4-year-old little girl from Mexico who is Sofia Villa is a pseudonym that we're using to protect her privacy. She is here in the United States with her parents on humanitarian parole to seek life-saving medical treatment. Sofia suffers from short bowel syndrome, which prevents her from being able to take in and process nutrients on her own. She requires very specialized medical care that requires her to undergo IV treatments 14 hours a day in her home. This treatment cannot be administered outside of the United States, so it's imperative that she remains here. Sofia and her parents presented themselves at the border in July 2023, seeking humanitarian parole for the purpose of getting medical treatment for their child. She has been undergoing treatment at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and while Sofia's condition has improved, she cannot live independently without that treatment. On April 11th, Sofia's mother, Deysi, received a notice from the Immigration Service letting her know that their humanitarian parole would be revoked and that the work permits of the parents would be canceled. They received a subsequent notice weeks later and a third notice in May, verifying that they are no longer in lawful status and are now vulnerable to deportation. The notices also ordered the family to leave the United States immediately. If deported and removed from accessing her specialized medical care, Sofia's doctors have been clear that she will die within days. Deporting this family under these conditions is not only unlawful, it constitutes a moral failure that violates the basic tenets of humanity and decency. I will now welcome Deysi, Sofia's mother, to the mic. Thank you.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Deysi Vargas. Soy mamá de Sofía. En 2023, mi hija y yo recibimos un permiso humanitario que hasta ahora le ha salvado la vida. Mi hija nació con síndrome de intestino corto y depende de un sistema especializado para sobrevivir. Debido a esta condición, tengo que conectarla a sondas gástricas 4 veces al día. Es un proceso que dura 1 hora. Mi hija está conectada 14 horas cada noche solo para sobrevivir. Cuando vivíamos en México, mi hija no crecía ni se mejoraba. Ahora, con la ayuda que ha recibido en los Estados Unidos, mi hija tiene la oportunidad de salir del hospital, conocer el mundo y vivir como una niña de su edad. En los últimos meses recibimos cartas de inmigración cancelando nuestro permiso humanitario y mi permiso de trabajo. En las cartas nos dicen que corremos el riesgo de ser deportados y que lo mejor para nosotros es irnos. Los médicos de mi hija nos dicen que los pacientes como mi hija no pueden salir del país porque no hay los mismos recursos médicos en otros países que en los Estados Unidos. Si nos deportan y le quitan a mi hija el acceso a su sistema especializado, ella morirá. Gracias.
Hello, good morning. My name is Deysi. In 2023, my daughter and I received a humanitarian parole that up until today has saved her life. My daughter was born with a syndrome in the intestines and she needs specialized care to survive. Due to this condition, I have to connect her to gastric tubes many times throughout the day, up to 4 times throughout the day, a process that can take many hours. My daughter is connected 14 hours every night just to survive. When we lived in Mexico, my daughter, she did not get any better. Now, with the help that she has received in the United States, my daughter has an opportunity to get out of the hospital, know the world, and live like a normal girl of 4 years. In the last few months, we've received letters from immigration canceling our humanitarian parole and my work permit. In these letters, they tell us that we run the risk of being deported, and the best thing that we should do is to leave. The doctors of my daughter has told us that patients like her cannot leave the country because they won't have the same medical recourses that other places have, like in the United States. They deport us and they remove my daughter from her specialized medical care. She will die.
Good morning. My name is Rebecca Brown, and I'm Sofia's lawyer. Humanitarian parole is for people like Deysi and Sofia. Deysi did everything she was asked to do to save her child's life. She applied to enter the United States to get better treatment for her daughter and waited until that application was granted before coming here. All that Deysi wants is for her child to continue to receive the amazing care that Sofia is getting at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. According to Sofia's medical team, sending Sofia to Mexico before that treatment can be concluded means Sofia will die, possibly within days. Had anyone taken the time to conduct an individualized assessment of my client's case, we are confident that they would clearly see the humanitarian need. Either the government did not conduct an individualized assessment, which is required by law, or they made the cruel decision to send Sofia in harm's way. We truly hope that the administration will recognize the medical need here and grant humanitarian parole to this deserving family. This administration's policy of trying to eradicate parole is cruel and nonsensical. It's impacting countless individuals who are in the United States for various life-saving reasons. Meeting humanitarian needs isn't political. It is the right thing to do. Parole exists to protect the most vulnerable, like Sofia, and this case is a reflection of it. This administration is moving quickly and broadly. Children are being swept up in the fallout. This is a crisis that can and should be avoided. We remain hopeful that the decision makers will do the right thing and allow our client Sofia to stay in the United States to receive the life-saving care that she urgently needs. Thank you.
So in short, Sofia's case is a symbol of the recklessness of this administration's deportation policies. To suddenly yank away that welcome mat, take away Sofia's life-saving care, and quite literally risk her life is a cruel betrayal of our nation's word and an affront to our shared humanity. This case is heartbreaking, no doubt, but it's not unique. For so many people fleeing violence, persecution, or who are dealing with life-threatening illnesses, deportation is a death sentence. From asylum seekers sent back to danger to individuals deported to authoritarian regimes like El Salvador's CCOT prison, we're seeing a pattern of cruelty and a violation of our most treasured rights and values. These are people coming to us for protection, and instead, we're sending them to die. That's not justice, and it doesn't make us any safer. We cannot let our country turn its back on this child, or frankly, on any of our immigrant neighbors who are simply fighting for a better life, safety, and the right to due process and justice. So raise your voice, share Sofia's story far and wide, and demand that our leaders do the right thing. And now we'll take some questions from the press. Yeah.
Michelle Myers, Deysi Vargas. Has the Trump administration been advised or notified by your team, and if so, do you know if they are aware of this case?
Absolutely. We wrote to them soon after we received the case. We did our best to give them the benefit of the doubt and let them know that we think they made an error, that we have a 4-year-old child whose life is in danger, and we asked them to reconsider their decision to terminate humanitarian parole. We have not heard anything back. We subsequently filed new applications for humanitarian parole and similarly have not received a response. Yes.
I have two questions. The first is, can you clarify a little bit the treatment? I'm not totally clear if it's an IV or a feeding tube or both, and explain why this can only be administered in the United States and not in any other country, or particularly in Mexico. And the second question is if Deysi can share anything that Sofia has been doing and enjoying here in this country that she was unable to do while she was hospitalized.
Sure. So my understanding is that she receives nutrition intravenously as well as nutrition through a feeding tube. The treatment is not available outside of the United States because the equipment cannot be taken outside of the U.S. The manufacturer, do you want to explain a little bit more?
Sure. And she has her equipment on her back. It's the little backpack that she's wearing. So it has to bypass the digestive system because she cannot take it in through her digestive system. And the manufacturer, per the manufacturer, it cannot travel. So it has to stay here. And the equipment is administered by Children's Hospital Los Angeles. So.
And prior to coming to the United States, she was in the hospital. So this treatment actually allows her to leave the hospital, live life at home with her parents.
Yeah.
Sure.
No sé si, buenos días, si podría explicarnos un poquito más. Usted dijo que Sofía pudo salir del hospital cuando llegó a Estados Unidos. ¿Puede decirnos un poco más de cómo es su vida ahora? ¿Cuáles son las cosas que más disfruta, que más está haciendo aquí, que no pudo disfrutar?
Yes. What is it?
Sí, Sofía pudo salir del hospital y ella disfruta mucho pasear, ir al parque, supermercado. Son cosas que durante 3 años que estuvo hospitalizada consecutivamente no hacía y es algo muy nuevo para ella. Incluso hay muchísimas cosas más por hacer que aún no conoce. De Oaxaca, de la costa.
Just wait for her. Wait, sorry. We could just wait for the translation. Yeah. Sorry.
So, Sofia likes to enjoy many things. She likes to travel. She likes to go to the supermarket. Things that she just normally wouldn't have been able to do during the consecutive years that she was hospitalized. And there's so much more that she will continue to enjoy doing.
Deysi, ¿cómo pudieron traer a la niña originalmente de México si requiere tratamientos que tiene que estar con ella a todo tiempo?
Tuvimos que traerla conectada, así llegamos a la frontera, a Tijuana, con nutrición parenteral y con... en México dicen suero, que es para hidratar, no sé cómo es el nombre acá, pero así trajimos a Sofía.
No sé si la madre puede platicar un poco de cómo se siente, cómo ha vivido este momento, los sentimientos después de que recibieron esta orden de salud.
Do you remember what she said?
I kind of wrote down. To answer the previous question, so in order to bring Sofia over, we needed to bring her connected, and she had to be hooked up to, in Mexico, it's called suero. I'm not sure what it's called here.
¿Cómo se siente después de
¿Puede
recibir la
compartirnos
noticia?
un poco cómo se ha sentido desde que le dieron esta orden de salir del país?
Son muchísimos sentimientos porque debido a mi situación no tenía como la manera de resolver esta situación por mí misma. Sentí mucha impotencia y es mucha intranquilidad porque dependo totalmente de el parole para el tratamiento que Sofía necesita y del permiso de trabajo para solventar sus gastos.
I have many feelings due to my situation. I felt helpless. I didn't have a way of resolving this issue on my own. I relied completely on the humanitarian parole that I had, and as well as the work permit.
Deysi, Rock Moreland from 23 ABC News in Bakersfield. Can you tell us a little bit about how your family came to Bakersfield and what your daughter enjoys about her life there?
¿Cómo llegaron a Bakersfield? ¿De qué es lo que disfruta en su vida su nena? ¿Cómo llegaron a Bakersfield?
Fuimos trasladados del hospital de Los Ángeles y lo que más disfruto es ver a Salomé en un lugar que no sea el hospital, porque estuvo así consecutivamente 3 años, día y noche sin salir, y era de verdad muy triste ver a Salomé en una cama 24 horas conectada.
Cuando ustedes llegaron a
Can I So we were transferred from the Los Angeles hospital. That's how we arrived to Bakersfield. And what I enjoy most is seeing Sofia just outside of the hospital and living her life.
Una duda, ¿ella está ahora en Bakersfield o aquí en Los Ángeles? ¿Dónde recibe el tratamiento?
Recibo el tratamiento en casa, pero el hospital que la atiende es el hospital de Los Ángeles, el hospital infantil en Bakersfield. Sí.
¿Le han dado alguna fecha específica?
Sorry, can I translate? So my daughter receives at-home treatment, and she in Los Angeles, but I live in Bakersfield.
Pregunta, al llegar aquí a California, ¿cómo se pudieron conectar con el hospital de Children's de Los Ángeles? ¿Cómo fueron esas primeras visitas a este hospital?
Sí. Llegamos a Tijuana, a la frontera. Migración directamente nos trajo al hospital de San Diego, al Ready Children's, para asegurarse que Salomé estuviera bien. Ahí estuvimos durante 1 año. El hospital de San Diego nos trasladó a Los Ángeles para que ellos pudieran organizar su alta.
We got to the border in Tijuana. We were then sent to the San Diego hospital, and then we were transferred to Los Angeles hospital.
Medical treatment such as the care that she's getting here in LA.
Yes, the goal of Children's Hospital Los Angeles is to always treat their patients so that their intestines can become rehabilitated and they can discontinue treatment. They have said that her condition has improved substantially, but that she is not at the point where she can survive on her own, and they don't have a specific timeline as to when that will be. Whether or not there is precedent, we are seeing all kinds of court cases trying to prevent the unlawful removal of individuals. Some have been successful and others have not.
Sí, tengo miedo porque nuevamente Sofía corre riesgo de morir si no recibe el tratamiento tan solo en par de horas. ¿Qué pasaría si regresamos a México? Sofía volvería a estar hospitalizada día y noche debido a que allá no hay los recursos para que ella pueda hacer su vida normal como en casa.
I am very scared because Sofia runs a risk of not receiving the treatment that she requires for her condition. And if we return back to our country, she would be at the hospital day and night.
Si ella es conectada durante 14 horas por la noche intravenosa y durante el día 4 veces, esto del día es a través del G-tube y dura 1 hora, pero 4 veces al día. Lo que tiene en la mochila son las 14 horas, que es algo que le llaman TPN, nutrición parenteral en español, y esa es por 14 horas.
¿Ella puede alimentarse normal?
Por boca sí.
Y tiene que ir
¿Qué le sugiere usted la esperanza. Es usted una persona de fe. No sé si usted ora o le reza a Dios que por parte de su hija, ¿qué es la que le sostiene usted todos los días?
La fe, claro, sí creo demasiado en Dios y durante este tiempo Él ha hecho muchas maravillas en la vida de Salomé.
Is this treatment so advanced that it is not? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So initially, Sofia's connected 14 hours at night. During the day, it's 4 times. It's a gastral tube, which lasts for 1 hour. What she's wearing on her backpack is part of the 14-hour treatment that she has to receive. But she's still able to intake food. And the second part, other question, I have a lot of faith. I believe in God, and He has already blessed us with many miracles.
Is it because that is state-of-the-art treatment that this is not provided in, say, Mexico City, which is very advanced? Is it because of the manufacturer not being able to travel with that backpack? Have you guys explored options in places like Mexico City?
Yes, so Children's Hospital Los Angeles has a world-class program for it's an intestinal rehabilitation program, so it's a very specialized program. My understanding is that there are about 200 children being treated in that program, and the manufacturer of the equipment that delivers the intravenous nutrition is not available outside of the United States. The manufacturer will not allow the equipment to travel outside of the United States, and that is why the treatment is not available outside of the U.S.
Deysi, ¿qué te gustaría decirle a la agencia que te mandó esa carta? ¿Qué te gustaría responderle a esa carta que te han mandado en la que te cancelan tu parole humanitario?
Que consideraran la situación de Salomé. Por favor.
Just to consider the situation of my daughter, please.
I have a question. I'm just curious what you're saying to your daughter, how you're even explaining being here in front of all this press, what those conversations are like.
She says she doesn't really know how to respond. She told me prior to the conference that Sofia doesn't understand much of what's going on. She's 4, so her comprehension is limited. We are going to start wrapping up the press conference. I'll let you know that Deysi is available for individual interviews. If you are interested, you can speak with Faith Holland from Rise Strategy Group. We will do our best to accommodate everybody's requests. We are very grateful for your presence and for your thoughtful questions and for your effort in uplifting this story. Thank you so much for being here today.